Super Mario Kart sucks. I think every Mario Kart fan and player understands that by now. With its bad graphics and even worse gameplay elements, it's hard to believe that anyone would revisit the game. But today, I shall bleed through the pain and play this game for like 30 minutes for this video. In a worst to best ranking style, I will, rank the 20 tracks in the game. I will still include tiers like F, D, C, and B, for example. The reason I am also including these tiers is to compare my ranking style with the modern one. This way, it's easier to see what fits where. As for the gameplay itself, I am not using the original Super Nintendo Entertainment System. I am rather using the SNES Switch deal and playing it from there with a Nintendo Switch Pro controller. So it isn't exactly legitimate, so my rankings would differ if I actually played on the console. So, many ranking YouTubers say this a lot, but obviously this is my opinion and is not factual. Many times during this video, some of the wording might seem a little like it isn't an opinion and is fact, but that is not on purpose, and I might have just messed up a little bit. I know it doesn't matter much, but I thought I would say it before getting into it. So, I ranked every course twice and took the average of each placement. At every number, there will be a smaller number next to the course name, AV, standing for average. So, for example, if a course was ranked 8th and 10th, then the AV for that course would be 9. So after taking all the averages, I sorted through the courses from smallest AV to biggest AV, and this is what I got. So we have two F tiers, both actually getting the same overall ranking. The F tier tracks are the worst of the worst, and are honestly contenders for being the worst in the series due to not many other games having F tier tracks. First up, we have number 20, obviously, which is Bowser Castle 2 of the Flower Cup. My feelings on this course are almost indescribable. Let me tell you, when I was writing the script for this very video, I couldn't come up with an analogy to compare this to. The first sentence was supposed to be, my feelings on this course are the same as the emotions I get when and I couldn't finish the sentence because I had nothing to compare it to. Sorry, I was yapping there. Let's get into why this course sucks. Everything about it is fine up until the first 5 seconds of it. The only actual complaint that I have up until here is the sharp turns, but that's 95% of the courses anyway, so it doesn't even matter. The worst part is 100% the dead end, which I don't even think you can skip with a feather unless I'm just horrible at the game, which I'm not. The worst part about this dead end is that you can't even tell what direction you're supposed to go. The game's graphics are so old and bad that you can't even tell where the arrow was pointing. So you have no clue what you're supposed to do. I know I made a few mistakes in that take, but it was just so emotional that I had to keep it in. Then there's a square type section that just makes my brain hurt. Tell me what the upside is of actually going through that section. Then right after that is the best part of the level, which is just tiny jumps over the lava. I actually kind of like this part because the track layout isn't just a straight line and has actual gameplay. It actually makes it feel like an attempt at a fun part. Wait, what's that? A small fraction of a fun time? On Bowser Castle 2? Wow. Yeah, so that part lasts for about 3 seconds, and then it's just boring. The addition of this game having 5 laps per course just adds to the internal suffering of playing Bowser Castle 2. Genuinely trash. Okay, time for number 19. Next, but not much better, we have Vanilla Lake 2. Honestly, the only redeeming factor of this course is that the stupid, almost completely unavoidable ice blocks in the middle of the course break when you bump into them. The fact that an already bad component in this course is made just a smidge better by the fact that the level is a tiny bit fair speaks for itself that it is a bad course. What else can I really say about it? It's just a monotonous circle half the course, and is literally the same as Vanilla Lake 1, but it's going the opposite way, and is a lot harder. It almost seems like as the game went on, the game devs became increasingly more and more lethargic in their work, and the game just got sloppy after a while. The course also just feels short, so when it's not impossible, it's boring. There's no gameplay elements whatsoever, besides going in a circle and attempting to pass unavoidable blocks of ice in 2 sections. I honestly can't choose whether to rank this over Bowser Castle 2, or the other way around. After I ranked them worst to best twice and found the average of each course, they got the same score with a 19.5. Overall, it's a bad course with bad visuals. Let's move on to something else now. Okay, now it's time to move on to the D tiers. Courses that are either bad, or kind of mid, so 4 to 5 out of 10. In 18th place, we have Vanilla Lake 1 of the Star Cup. I'm honestly too lazy to check. Just like its counterpart, or rather sequel, it's a circle, but replace the bad parts with boring parts. There are still ice blocks, but they are spaced apart enough so it isn't even much of a problem. Those are the only 2 gameplay elements, and it's kind of like Vanilla Lake 2, but it goes clockwise instead. Well, I mean, there is still one more complaint, and it's that there is no lake. I don't even know how they could mess that up, or they just want people to do that, I guess. Yeah, but overall, it is not a stellar course whatsoever, and it's a 4 out of 10 if I were to rank it by that logic. In 17th place, but not much better, we have Kuba Beach 1. Yay! It's really nothing special, obviously, and I would even say it's on the bad side. It angers me how short this course is. I don't know the specifics on how long it takes, but I know for me, it's 15 to 17 seconds per lap on 50cc. The only really good part is when you can make the jump between the 2 sides of the beach in the very beginning. If the course wasn't a circle and was longer, this course could have had a potential because of the nice beach theme. I really don't know what else to say. It's just a boring circle. For 16, we have Ghost Valley 2. I feel like people generally like this course, at least better than Ghost Valley 3, but let me explain. In 100 or 150cc, it's a lot harder to stay on the course, especially while drifting. I don't know, I might just be delusional, but I don't enjoy the course due to its turns. It's meant to be a difficult theme, sure, but I don't like how the blocks fall when you bump into them. So when you hit them anyway, you just fall off because you have an accelerating motion. I do like how it isn't just a plain old boring circle and actually has track design, but there really aren't any obstacles and it's overall pretty short. I really don't know what else to say. It's just a semi-difficult course with a boring layout and sharp and unforgiving turns. Next up, number 15, Burger King foot lettuce. No, but actually it's Koopa Beach 2. Just like the first, it's a very short course and it's just a boring circle. The only nitpicks I have is its balancing. On 150cc, it's really hard to stay on the course at that one part and then just a couple of boring turns. Like, what else is there to say? Each lap is literally like 15 seconds long. Like, I don't know, it's cool that there's leaves that slow down the cart at the sides, but like, what else is there to talk about? Okay guys, I need your opinion on this. Would you rather drive in a square or a circle? Why is this relevant, I hear you asking? Because it's time for Bowser Castle 1. Yeah! It's a bad and boring track, so there isn't really much positive to talk about. Or really talk about anything at all. It's so boring that there's nothing I can say. I love these long 5-second straightaways that there are 4 for some reason. The sides of that one part jut out for no reason, other than to probably make it less boring. At least there are speed pads, so the section is a bit faster. There's also a few pointless jumps that you don't need any skill to do whatsoever. Literally just lift your hands off the controller for 3 seconds and you're good. Not only is this once, but twice. Yeah, I really don't know what else to say. There are no obstacles besides the thwomps that are extremely easy to avoid. Overall, it's a bad course. Next. Okay guys, we're getting there. For 13, which now we're in the C tiers by the way, we have Mario Circuit 1. Now we're just delving into the unspecial courses that really don't have anything that's noteworthy. I mean, it's the first course in the series, so it can't be good. I mean, there's a long straightaway that lasts like 4 seconds. After that, there's just a few curvy turns that don't add to the gameplay and it doesn't have any obstacles too. Track-wise, it's one of the most boring courses, but at least it isn't just a circle. At number 12, we have Ghost Valley 3. It's actually a pretty fun course. It isn't really boring, and also it isn't too difficult. Now, you guys may be wondering, all 4 of you that is, how could I rank this above Ghost Valley 2? It's because of the sharp turns in Ghost Valley 2. Now granted, there are still some pretty sharp turns, but the track feels wider and more gradual. The loss of the walls makes me feel like I don't have anywhere to go, so I have to stay in the middle. But for Ghost Valley 2, the walls make it seem like, oh, I can go closer to the edge. But in reality, I just fall off and die. There is this one straightaway part though, but at least it has holes in the floor, jumps, and item boxes too, which make it a lot more fun. I also really like the 2 parts with no wall that have a windy track. It's actually pretty cool gameplay. The random holes in the track mesh well with the feel of the theme, and it works kind of well together. Overall, it's actually a really good course, but the theme is a little boring, and some of the parts weigh it down a bit. Don't worry guys, we're almost done. At the number 11 spot, we have Choco Island 2. Honestly, as bad as Choco Island 2 is in DS, the original isn't half bad. It's still like a 6 overall, but it's good for the game that it's in. The turns aren't as sharp as many other courses, so it's pretty easy to stay on the track. I like that one part that goes narrow, and the turns mesh well with the gameplay as well. After this, there's a giant clearing filled with mud. It's supposed to make the steering hard to maneuver, but this dynamic isn't too difficult. Almost every time I play this course, I get through this part with no problem. I also enjoy the random jumps in the last few seconds of the course. It makes what would normally be a really bland part of the course spiced up by switching up the game style. What I say next might sound a little strange, but I love hitting that last jump and going into a drift from the jump. It just makes it feel so smooth, and I love doing it every time the lap ends. Overall, it really feels like an average course, and I'll take as many of those as I can get. Oh my god, we're finally halfway there. Yes! Number 10 is Donut Plains 2. It's kind of crazy that at 10 is the worst Donut Plains. They're all pretty much the same, so the ranking might be pretty close. So you may be wondering, why is Donut Plains 2 the worst? And honestly, I could not tell you. There's something with the track design that feels a little forced. For one, there aren't any shortcuts, while each of the other ones do. Actually, scratch that, Donut Plains 3 doesn't have any either. Yeah, I don't really know why I think Donut Plains 2 is the worst. There aren't many gameplay elements. I mean, there aren't any bridges that cross over the lake, but you are able to get close to it. The only real obstacles that I can talk about are the moles that actually make the course pretty fun to play. The turns are pretty wide, and there aren't any sharp turns. The turns are a lot like 1 and 3, but to be fair, those 2 tracks have more track design, which isn't really much. It's just going over water with a bridge. Okay, to be honest though, they're all like the same course, so just leave me alone. Surprisingly, next we have not a Donut Plains, but a Ghost Valley, which is Ghost Valley 1. I'm sorry, but that line is just so stupid. Like, why would I even put that in? Okay, so I might get clowned on for this, but why are some of the simpler tracks just so much better than the other ones? This also might sound weird, but I don't mind the straightaways in this one. I think I worry too much about if I'm gonna hit the sides, so I don't even notice the long straightaways. I like hopping over the yellow jump bar in order to get the item box. That's always a good feeling. I also love that feather shortcut that's actually pretty difficult and a good challenge for an early game track. There really isn't much else to say, but it's an alright course. Number 8 is what anyone would expect to be here after number 10, because it's Donut Plains 3. When I tell you that this course is hard, this course is hard. It might be even harder than Rainbow Road, and I don't think people give it enough credit. The turn into the second bridge is the hardest part of any course in all of the Mario Kart series. The turn is so sharp that I either go to the right or to the left of the bridge every single time. Not only is this part hard, but there's a hole in the bridge that you have to jump over. This jump is really difficult on 50cc, by the way. In the second part of the course, for like 5 seconds, there are 3 narrow turns that are really difficult. Then, it's just easy! I don't understand the balancing for these courses. For 80% of the course, it's as hard as Rainbow Road, and then it's as easy as Mario Circuit 1. No, that's not even an exaggeration. Literally, the turns are very similar to Mario Circuit 1. Okay, so considering how mad I got, you may be wondering how this course ranks at number 8 for me. And honestly, I don't know. There's just something about it that sets it apart from the other courses. I think the bar is just so low for this game that even a bad course for today's standards could be number 1. Number 7 is Donut Plains 1. I feel like the simpler courses are just so much better than the difficult ones because of the way the controls are and how lazy I feel the developers got. Into the actual gameplay, there's a bridge that doesn't have any gaps or broken planks. There's a windy turn that feels really good to stay on, even though it's pretty easy. In the middle, there's the one and only shortcut in the entire theme, which is like the most generic one possible. In the middle of the course, there's a small straightaway, but since it's curved, it doesn't really feel that boring, also because it's narrower than the others. Just like the rest of the tracks in this game, there's nothing else to talk about. It's a good course by itself, but it doesn't have any exciting elements or obstacles. I guess that was pretty nice to put it all the way up here, but it's my list, so I don't really care. Alright guys, hear me out. Mario Circuit 3, it's not that bad, alright? Listen, I know, this course is such a meme at this point that I honestly have to rank it here. It's in 5 of the 9 games, which is just kind of remarkable, honestly. Now getting into the actual track, well, there isn't really much. But the only interesting gameplay element is the really tough turn in the middle, and it's just kind of annoying because if you don't take it really wide, you're just going to fall off immediately. The turns at the beginning and end of the track are very similar, so it just kind of proves that the game does it really lazy. The main reason I like it enough for it to be up here this far is because it feels like an actual go-karting track that you might find. I mean, just look at it, right? The turns mesh well together and it's fun to hop multiple times on every turn, but what else can I talk about? Alright, it's time for the B tiers. So if you don't know what that means, it's basically like the good courses. Like C tiers are average and B tiers are kind of just like good, not really great. First up for number 5 is Choco Island 1. I don't know what it is. The jumps that spread across the track feel even and smooth. The turns aren't too difficult and the off-road is surprisingly punishing. It's like a perfectly orchestrated difficulty curve. The wide track makes it hard to go off, but if you do, it could hurt you badly. I also like the fun random jumps at the end. There aren't many turns, and if so, are wide. It just feels like another regular course, but that's what makes it good. These tracks are so god-awful that even a sliver of a good element sets it apart from the others. Number 4 is to be expected. It's Rainbow Road. Honestly, it's not even the worst Rainbow Road in the series, but we'll get there when we get there. The turns are super sharp, and those elements alone make it easily the hardest track in the game. Even the series? Oh wait, no, sorry, I forgot about Donut Plains 3. The turns are at least a little bit gradual, so it isn't impossible to stay on, so I can't really complain too much. I love the way the track looks, the music is nostalgic, and honestly it's so ominous being on a track that's supported by nothing, just in the absolute middle of nowhere. The rainbow thwomps are pretty cool, but honestly they're a little bit hard to avoid in some cases, and they're honestly sometimes more dangerous than falling off the edge. Like, I literally got stuck there for like 30 seconds, we don't talk about that. Sure, there are a ton of straightaways, but the track's difficulty otherwise balances it out well. Overall, I feel like I'm saying that a lot. It's just a good course that has good visuals, gameplay elements, and music. Also, I did not make this ranking based on music, but let me know if you want me to do that in the future. For number 3, we have Mario Circuit 4. It's the most underrated course in the game. It's crazy how it was never brought back, considering that Mario Circuit 3 was brought back 3 different times. Do not tell me that Super Circuit counts, because it does not, okay? It's not. Oh my god. These turns are amazing. This course really feels like it was actually made for this game. My only complaint is that I hit this corner every single time. Oh, and it's also a bit boring. There aren't many obstacles besides the 2 warp pipe parts. Wow, that's a tongue twister, oh my god. But I'm glad it's there because it would make the straightaway really boring. There's also a shortcut, which is not something that's on a lot of courses. It's still like the most basic shortcut possible, but at least it spices up the gameplay a bit. It's just a course that's well paced and has wonderful turns that mesh well with the physics of the game. This track is commonly considered the best track in the game, but I'm here to break that streak. Mario Circuit 2's track is pretty good by itself, but I don't think the revolutionary for the time jump can really move it so much forward that it's the best track. Now before that, the course's turns feel really good with the physics for SNES. The track is really wide and quite easy. I mean, it's in the Mushroom Cup, right? Besides that though, at the end there's a mind-bogglingly huge jump. Okay guys, I want you to picture that this game was made in 1992, which is insane by itself. That was 32 years ago. I can't even imagine how insane this must have been for a child around that time. Okay, so enough glazing. This course is okay. The jump quite obviously is the best part, but the rest of the track is short and boring. So just like I said earlier, that one element alone does not produce enough of a significant difference for it to be the best course in the game. The number one spot, which, wow, the script is long and I did not expect it to be over 5,000 words, is the one, but not the only, Bowser Castle 3. Not what most would have picked, I know, but I think that the reason that it's number one is just because of the many good elements and how they actually put an effort into this Bowser Castle considering the last two. It's almost really funny that Bowser Castle 2 is the worst track in the game, but Bowser Castle 3 is the best. You know what's also funny? This track is still a B tier overall, so it's not even like it stands out that much. I honestly had a hard time deciding if Mario Circuit 2 was better, but I thought a lot of people would put that as number one. I mean, I don't want to sound based, right? Into the actual gameplay of the course, there's a 90-degree turn that's honestly pretty annoying, but that's not even really a big deal. For whatever reason, the track gets a lot narrower, probably trying to throw you off after the turn, honestly. I'm not even kidding, it gets me every single time. These two jumps are pretty boring, but it is much better than just being straight track, and they actually make an attempt at good gameplay. Alright, here's where it gets good. There's a choose your way path, and there's like 5 different combinations. It's honestly a very fun gameplay element, even though I go the same way every time. So then there's a straightaway that narrows out in the middle, so at least they made an effort not to be boring. After a turn which I can never successfully get to without hitting the wall, there's another pick your own way section, although it's just 3 lines and there isn't much variation. There are jumps and speed boosts depending on which way you go, and it makes what would normally be a boring part very fun and creative. After this, there's a wide track that shifts over in the middle and is blocked by 2 thwomps. They could have very easily made this straight track, and I really like how they wanted to make it more fun. So overall, it's like an A tier, but there are a few straightaways, so that might make it a bit worse. So pretty much 75% of the time it's fun and difficult, and the other 25 is just a bit boring. It's Super Mario Kart, so what can I really expect of it? But yeah, Bowser Castle 3 is just a clear winner in my opinion. There aren't any tracks that I can really see being number one besides Mario Circuit 2, and although it's only in B tier, it's still a good course overall. While I was working on the script, either if I said it or somebody brought it up, they thought it was really funny that even the number one spot wasn't even an A tier. But that just reflects the game perfectly. It isn't meant to be the best game in the world, and in fact, it's far from it. The game was made in 1992, and it's pretty bad by today's standards. But circle back to that. It was made 32 years ago. This was around the time when Final Fantasy V or Mortal Kombat 1 was made. The game was so influential for the Mario Kart series and even Nintendo in general. I mean, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is now the best-selling Nintendo Switch game with over 64 million copies sold. So, this almost ancient game sparked 7 very influential games. So although it's fun to clown on Super Mario Kart for being the worst game in the series, we must all respect our elders because where would we be without them? Now back to the 7 other games. This isn't the first video that's ever been uploaded to my channel. In fact, I have over 44 videos that span from 2020 to 2023. I want to rebrand this channel into something new. The topics are almost going to be 100% about ranking things with the occasional movie review or game review. So some of the videos I'm planning are all the track rankings for Mario Kart 64 through Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, as well as a few others that I'm still considering. Oh, and almost forgot. I'm doing a cup ranking for every game and retros versus nitros. So for this game, from worst to best, it's special, flower, star, and then mushroom. So there aren't any retros in this game, so what I'm doing is the mushroom and flower cup versus the star and the special cup, which gives mushroom and flower cup the slight edge. I don't know how those numbers don't add up to 20 when you take the averages, but hey, I won't question it. One more thing I wanted to add just to put these rankings into perspective is the theme ranking. This is just a little something I wanted to do so you can see where each level in a specific theme ranked. First off, the Mario Circuit series. It goes Mario Circuit 1, Mario Circuit 3, Mario Circuit 4, and Mario Circuit 2. For the Donut Plains series, Donut Plains 2, Donut Plains 3, Donut Plains 1. For the Ghost Valley series, it's Ghost Valley 2, Ghost Valley 3, Ghost Valley 1. The Bowser Castle series is Bowser Castle 2, Bowser Castle 1, Bowser Castle 3. The Choco Island series goes Choco Island 2, Choco Island 1. For the Vanilla Lake series, it goes Vanilla Lake 2, Vanilla Lake 1. The Koopa Beach series is Koopa Beach 1 and Koopa Beach 2. And then there's just one Rainbow Road. I really don't know how outros work. Hit the like button, I guess. Oh, and comment your ranking. I will respond because I will have nothing better to do. Okay, bye! And Nintendo just added Super Mario Kart music to the Nintendo Music app. Why?